the mall after 9 o'clock shut down, but there's still a lot of people in there. Alright, got this. House of Ales. Listen to that tune. Hello, good evening everyone out there on YouTube. Yeah, got a pickups video for you today. How about that? It's been maybe 2 years, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Friday evening, enjoying a fine terrapin out of Athens, Georgia, great brewery. Watermelon Goza, which is basically a sour style wheat beer. I'm a big fan of Gozas, lambics, sour ales, anything like that. And yeah, some of the best ones are made right here at various craft breweries across the United States. So go check out those styles of beer if you have yet to do so in your life. Sure, you'll enjoy them. But so yeah, like I said, it's been probably 2 years since I've done a pickups video. You can see my spread here, and I'll go into detail on each one. But yeah, so actually I'm in my new, rambling all over the place already. Got a lot of things to talk about, I suppose, because I'm in the new games room that I know I've been telling everyone I'm going to be showing off at some point. And so this is the first video, I guess, officially in the room, but I'm not going to kind of pan around yet. I'd like to save the unveil for, it's pretty damn messy in here. Let's just leave it at that. So, but that'll be coming up sometime soon. I've just got a couple of monitors, well, 3 of them running right now in the background. But yeah, so it's been about 2 years since I've done a pickups video, and I mean, you know, I've got a lot of the games that I've ever wanted, picked them up over the past how many ever years, my whole life if you want to count that. It's been going back quite a while now, over 3 decades, so I don't know, you know, I believe this is everything that I've picked up in the past couple of years, but I could be mistaken. It's just been so long. This is off the top of my head what I could kind of dig out. You know, I just thought, I haven't done a pickups video in a real long time, so let's just show some of these. And I've got this camera on the tripod here, which may or may not be difficult to remove, which I'm gonna have to turn it off for one brief moment so I can kind of zoom in and show you everything and talk a little bit about it. So I shall return, be right back. But yeah, just, I don't know, kind of wanted to elaborate on that thought a bit more in depth, I suppose. Just the fact that, like I said, I've been playing games my whole life, as you know, starting with the NES back in the mid-'80s, and just sort of hanging on to pretty much most of everything I had when I was younger, and then maybe, I don't know, about 10, 15 years ago, kind of actually for the first time realizing that what I've been doing my whole life was really building up a collection of this stuff and sort of then organizing it more so like I suppose a miniature preservation society. You know, I've been doing this for quite some time, and yeah, no pickups videos in a couple of years definitely means that thinking off the top of my head, I've pretty much acquired everything that I've ever really wanted to have. Now, I know that's not true. I still have a short list of stuff, and there's always something I'm forgetting that I'll remember, a different retro item I want to pick up. But for the most part, I mean, you know, I've acquired quite a bit of stuff that I really want. So, for instance, more is in the past that I've collected than what I will be purchasing, obviously, in the future. So it's, I don't know, it's sort of like a existential crisis in terms of your standpoint and you know, where to go, I suppose, forward with collecting. I mean, it's good in a way because I can just sit back and sort of relax and play everything, but it's just an interesting feeling to realize, I would always for so long be thinking, what's the next thing I need to acquire? What do I want next? And I've almost reached a point of, there's really not all that much. And, you know, the modern stuff just doesn't interest me a whole lot. So I don't mean to get too deep on you with with this, but just a thought I was sort of pondering to myself the other day. And I don't know, for all you guys out there who are a similar age to me, you know, you're 30s and up and even older, I'm sure you've, I don't know, perhaps kind of stumbled upon that idea in your head as well. And it's interesting, interesting feeling, I suppose. And I don't have the most massive collection in the world, but I do have quite a valuable one. You know, I don't know, I think I counted like 100 arcade PCBs and the console games, the Saturn, PlayStation, Neo Geo stuff. The same there. So when I think back and actually look at all the stuff I have, it's like, wow, this is worth so much more than even what I paid for it. And, you know, I don't know, just interesting. There's not a whole lot more to get. But yeah, let's get to the actual games. But yeah, I don't know. I suppose we'll just kind of start over here. Let's go over to this side. So a couple of Super Famicom games. Here's a Gegege no Kitaro game. It's actually not a really good game, this Super Famicom version. I do have a very rare gem over here, which actually is a great game, and I'll get to that one. But yeah, this one's okay. Nothing too special. Yeah, it's a platform game, kind of a shooting platform game. This one is too, but like I said, it's a whole lot better. We shall get to it. Namco, great. Here's Cosmo Gang, the video on the Super Famicom. And actually, yeah, just a couple of weeks ago, I believe, Mark Vergeer put up a video on this game. And yeah, hopefully maybe he looked at my recommendation that I gave to him for this game, I think about 8 months ago. So I hope you're enjoying the game, Mark. If you saw my comment on it, I think it was on your TerraGuard video for the VIC-20, another fixed screen shooter. I think Mark was comparing it to a Nichibutsu Great Mooncresta. And yeah, I love that game as well. I love all the, I especially love the Namco fixed screen shooters. So I think they're really the kings of that genre, obviously, with Galaga, Galaxian, Galpus, many great games. And I just kind of suggested this game to him in the comments. So yeah, if you saw that and it kind of enticed you to pick up the game, Mark, hopefully you're enjoying it. But yeah, awesome game. Yeah, on the 360, here's Raiden 4. What can I say about that? You know, like I said, a lot of these are really old pickups. Maybe some of these are even older than 2 years. A couple of them I'll get to. You know, there's various reasons for me getting to them a little bit later. But yeah, this is one that I wanted for many, many years, and I didn't get around to getting it until I think around end of 2015. But yes, Raiden 4. Not my favorite Raiden game. It's kind of a three-dimensional graphics. Like, I guess Raiden 3 was the first one to obviously take it to that, and then there's the sequel to it. It's a cool game. I like it. I play it on the Tate VGA PC CRT with the 360, and it's awesome. It looks really fantastic. But you know, I'm more of a sprite. I'm an old school guy, so I like the hand-drawn sprite stuff. But yeah, this is a fantastic game too. There's Racing Spirits on the PC Engine. Actually got a bunch of PC Engine games, well, a relatively large amount, I suppose, over the past couple of years. Kind of beefed up that collection a bit. But yeah, Irem motorcycle racing game. Pretty basic stuff. Not much I can say about it. Most of these were all like brand new sealed when I got them. And there's a couple of kind of gems in there. But I opened them, you know. I play my games, so I try to keep them I do keep them in good condition, but I'm not going to keep stuff sealed for the most part. But yeah, Racing Spirits. Here is a brutally difficult Namco platformer, Yokai Dochuki. I've had it on the Famicom for many, many years. It was originally an arcade game by Namco, notoriously difficult, like I said. Ported over to the Famicom and the PC Engine. PC Engine port, better graphics, better sound than the Famicom, but both of them suffice, so I've got them both. On the PS2, awesome one, and another one I've had for quite some time now, just haven't done the pickups in forever. But SDI and Quartet, two Sega classics. Now, you know, everyone's familiar with Quartet. SDI is a kind of a cool shooter, but the main reason I think anyone picks this up, this Sega Ages 2500 collection, is for obviously Quartet and Quartet 2, which was kind of like an expansion to the original PCB, just new levels and such, and a fantastic side-scrolling shooting, platforming type of game. Yeah, everyone grew up with it, everyone knows it and loves it, enough said, but great way to pick it up. If you haven't played it, yeah, it's another thing I should mention real quick is another one of those PS2 games with perfect 240p low-res visuals, so CRT goodness for this. Hook your PlayStation 2 up to a CRT via component and set it to 240p, and yeah, just enjoy it. Awesome. Down here on the PC Engine, yeah, Space Harrier. I love the Mammoth. What can you say? It's actually a really, really decent port of the game. I'm always amazed, always have been amazed with basically what is an 8-bit system. All these fantastic games on the PC Engine and the arcade ports, which are really stellar given the hardware limitations. And this is a great way to play the game, actually. So here's Wanda Momo. I don't even really know how to. It's kind of like a fixed screen beat 'em up. I guess I would call it that. I'm just creating a genre here. Awesome game, cheesy, awesome. Like I said, once again, the PC Engine. I mean, this was originally a Namco arcade game, and the port of it is like, it's spot on, fantastic for an 8-bit system. It's pretty close to the actual original arcade board. So right along here, and I'm notorious for kind of rambling on for like 50, 60 plus minutes on pickups, so I'm trying to, sorry if I sound like I'm rushing myself, I'm trying to go a little bit faster so you don't fall asleep. Just briefly touching on this stuff. So here's Bomberman, the best version of the original, I believe. I like it. I like this one a lot more than the Famicom version. You know, the PC Engine, the hardware, really, I love the Famicom and the NES, but this stuff is superior. The hardware, the PC Engine, and the TurboGrafx. So, original Bomberman, Bomberman 93, awesome game. Love the music in it. Both of these were new sealed. Actually, all the games I'm touching on were new sealed. So, and here is B-Ball, a Hudson game. This is a really, really cool game. It's another one of those kind of genre. I don't know. I'm not really sure how to classify the game. For those of you who have played it, you just know it's fun. You're kind of rolling this ball, or it's kind of like a puzzle game. You know, you're rolling this ball. What is it? So it kind of reminds me of one of my favorite games, Don't Pull, which is a Capcom CPS-1. It's on the 3 Wonders CPS-1 hardware. It was ported over arcade gears to the Saturn. I do have that port. Fantastic game. Kind of reminds me of that game in a way. It's sort of like a little puzzle action game. There's B-Ball. Check it out if you have not. Jiraiyas Plus, awesome one. And again, this was new sealed when I picked it up, and I got a fantastic deal on these. Like I said, this was a couple of years back, so it was a seller somewhere in California who was it on Amazon or eBay? I can't remember, but he had a really good deal on a bunch of this stuff. Picked it up for basically not much at all back then. Yeah, to my knowledge, I guess, just thinking off the top of my head, are there any other kind of ports of the first Jiraiyas game? Well, this is the most noteworthy one, if there is. If there are any others, I'm not sure. But I don't think there are off the top of my head. But fantastic. I mean, this game, I love the original Jiraiyas. Like the triple screen arcade monitor. And like they've ported this one over to just your standard 4:3 monitor, like your home television, and it's a fantastic game. Once again, amazed with just the prowess of the 8-bit PC Engine, how it handled these really advanced arcade games pretty seamlessly with very good ports. In terms of the graphics and even the sound department as well is pretty decent. So let's see what else. Yeah, so okay, right here, two kind of gems of this lot of PC Engine stuff. First, we have Legend of Hero Tanma, awesome IROM arcade platformer, a great port. I mean, this holds up super well, super nicely in comparison to the actual PCB. I don't know if you haven't played it. There was some kind of IROM collection of classic arcade games for the PC and Mac, and I believe this was on there, but I don't think it was ported over to any other consoles other than that compilation many years later, and the PC Engine. But I mean, this is like spot on, near perfect, and so is this one, Shikoku Magoo. What is it in the US and Europe? Bond's Adventure, and one of my all-time favorite platformers. Both of these are kind of run and gun shooting type platforms. The emphasis is heavy on what you're tossing out at enemies, in addition to ninja gaming, running and jumping, avoiding pitfalls and all that. But I absolutely love Shikoku Magoo. Both of these I got them brand new sealed, and these days these are getting really tough to come by, and I think I would imagine a little bit pricey. They weren't really cheap way back when I picked them up a couple of years ago. So if you like, I love Mizubaku Daiboken, Waterbomb Adventure, another awesome Taito arcade game. Arcade perfect port over to the Saturn, which I have, and I'm glad I got that game when I did back in the day, because it's really pricey now. But this game is and I think this one actually came before it, but they're basically kind of like the same game in a way, where you're tossing out projectiles. The theme is a bit different. This one's dark, and you're going through this journey through hell. Mizubaku is much more kind of cartoony, colorful graphics, but very similar in terms of the gameplay. So if you know that one and you like it, or you know this one and you don't know that one, vice versa, either or, you'll like both of these games. I guarantee you that. Okay, sorry about that. The camera battery sort of expired on me, and I was just sort of rambling off there to myself, talking to a camera that wasn't filming. But the good thing about this Canon Vixia, unlike my previous Sony Bloggy that I used for so many videos, with this one it does sort of afford me the ability to simultaneously charge and film. So as you can see, I'm right now at the moment tethered to the wall with the charger, but hey, it's charging and I'm filming, so I can't really ask for much more than that. But yeah, so got a few more games to get to. We'll go up here. What can I say? Shameful that it just took me so long to eventually get around to picking up this port. Now, most of these are 2+ year old pickups, but a few of them are not. I believe I only picked this one up about a year ago, last June or something like that. But yeah, Metal Black, I mean, love the game. Originally played it in arcades in Japan and Akihabara, and I've been meaning to pick up the port for many years, and yeah, just last year finally got around to doing so. And what can I say? So many things I just had forgotten about this game. I mean, the music is absolutely beyond stellar. Love the stage backgrounds. So many just huge, really inventive, creative-looking enemy bosses, and yeah, the backstory for this game, originally, early on in the preliminary stages of its development, it was actually supposed to be Jiraiyas 3, which that would have been that's pretty crazy to think that they sort of shifted gears kind of early on, but I'm actually glad they did, because it turned out to be something kind of similar in some ways. You can kind of see some of the kind of aquatic theme enemies in the game, but it took a totally different direction and became its own thing, and really appreciative of the fact that Taito did that. Fantastic horizontally scrolling shoot 'em up. It's very difficult, but like I said, I love it. Love the music and graphics, and Really like the kind of orb collecting power-up system where you're trying to boost up your powerful shot that you can kind of use on the boss just as he's using his. And it actually runs much more deep than that, but that's sort of just scratching the surface of some of the gameplay mechanics. Awesome game. Yeah, so glad I thought about it again and ended up picking it up. And arcade perfect port to the Sega Saturn. What can you say? That system is just an arcade workhorse. Another one that falls into the same category of arcade perfect port for the most part here is by Jaleco, and this is Game Tengoku, the Game Paradise. This one always kind of reminded me of sort of like Jaleco's version of Konami's Parodius. The main difference being, of course, Parodius, horizontally scrolling shoot 'em up, and the Game Paradise is Tate Monitor vertically scrolling game, originally an arcade board, and really great port over to the Sega Saturn, and just got some really. It's a very difficult game as well, but got a kind of a cutesy, cartoony, just super colorful. Graphics and characters, really love that about it, and cool that it came out in this kind of large special edition box. Really enjoy it, and it comes with the game, and as you can see here, VHS tape, original animation, and I haven't even, that's what the Japanese says down here, I haven't even actually watched that yet. Maybe I'll throw that in the old Symphonic TV VCR combo and put that up on YouTube for people to watch if they want to. But yeah, awesome vertically scrolling shoot 'em up by Jaleco, and great port to the Saturn. Yeah, so here's one. Just obviously, if you know my channel, you know I'm a huge fan of Strikers 1945, and yeah, I never got around to picking up the sequel, Strikers 1945 2, and I got the original port to the Saturn, and the port of the second one to the Saturn is quite pricey, so I ended up going with the really uber cheap Super Light edition, Super Light series for the PS1, and I've actually heard that this game, the PS1 version, is superior to the Saturn port. Some of the more detailed animations within different explosions, things of that nature, but just one of those that you forget to pick up, and finally got around to doing so. Now here, well, what can I say? Gradius 2 especially. Gradius 1 and 2, awesome game. The Gradius Deluxe Pack on the Saturn. Gradius 2, maybe my favorite horizontally scrolling shoot 'em up ever. Really one of them. Just absolutely love all the Konami shoot 'em ups. But yeah, I had this game many years ago on the PS1. And a little over a year ago, I was looking for it, digging it out, trying to play it, couldn't find it. Now, I don't know if it got lost in one of the many moves I've been through over the past decade or so, or if I ended up selling it to someone. I want to say maybe I did that, but I can't remember. Either way, no longer had my PS1 version, so thought, hey, I never had the Saturn version, and picked it up, and from what I can tell, it plays exactly the same, arcade perfect port. I love, I can't remember the original Gradius 2 if the sound was really that good in the 80s on the PCB, but man, I mean, the port is awesome. It's been a long time since I'd have to think back to Japan if I played the PCB there, because I know I didn't play that one here in the States. I'm not even sure if that was released here, Gradius 2. But man, I mean, like for an 86 game, the sound just blows my mind on that thing. But yeah, let's see, what do we have here? Now this is, I talked about this Gegege no Kitaro game. Here is the PS1 version, and don't expect me to be able to read all of that insane kanji, but luckily I can read the hiragana for you, and it's Gyakushu Yoma Daikesen. It's really hard to see because it's small, but that's what it says. And this is a Konami game, awesome platformer with a lot of shooting elements in it. I want to say this is one of, if not the one of the maybe 5 or so last games released for the PS1 before you know, they just stopped putting out games for it. And this is just a super expensive game to. I mean, I picked this up a little while ago, and I look at the prices of it now, and it's even jumped. And as far as the game goes, it's a beautiful game. I mean, and I'm talking about all the beautiful sprite-based arcade ports and original stuff for the Saturn and PS1. This literally might be the most beautiful sprite art I've seen in the 32-bit era. It's really that close to being that good. And it's a fantastic little platformer in its own right. Sort of just like a rarity, curiosity type of thing. I don't think the game, while the game is really good, I'm not sure it's worth what it commands unless you're a big fan of the anime series. But I'll have to show some gameplay of it, because this is something that not many people know about. It's just insanely expensive, and I don't know. It's just I love the whole like the Japanese ghosts and oni, all that kind of folklore that Ge no Kitaro, that series kind of focused on. So just the mood, it's really creepy, and just like I said, unbelievably detailed stuff. I'll do a gameplay on it. It's a tough game too, because at times the controls are a little bit wonky. Although it is a good game, so I'm not gonna bash it too much there. So some more retro stuff. I don't think I've picked up any other PCBs than this fantastic classic. Another Taito shoot 'em up, horizontally scrolling, great. And this is the actual arcade PCB for Insector X. And Japanese version too, nonetheless. So very cool. Love a little. It's a tiny PCB, as you can see, like a PS4 game right here, and you know, CD jewel cases. It's a really small one. Love Insector X. Always loved this game in the arcades. Of course, I've had the different Genesis port for many years, and the Famicom version as well, which I really like that port even better than the Genesis one. But I mean, what can I say? This is where it's at, the real deal, the actual game. And yeah, there's still some more PCBs I want to get around to picking up, but this one was really cheap, and yeah, I love it. A classic shooter that I've got a lot of great memories from, and yeah, challenging in its own right, like if you're trying to go for the clear. But yeah, beautiful, colorful game. So other modern stuff. Now, it's great with me and the modern stuff, I get these games, and I just don't have a lot of time to play them, but you know, I was a huge fan of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus back in the day, and this finally came out, Last Guardian. It's been pushed back so many years, so I was pretty excited, and I picked it up. I have played about, and I've had this since when it came out, so I have only played a couple of hours. I know that's bad, but I just don't have a lot of time I need to make time to play this, but and I will, as well as Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I love the Dragon Ball games, and I've got plenty of them. And this one has sort of some RPG elements in it. I didn't play Xenoverse 1. I do have the game on the PS3 that came out. I can't remember the name of it at the moment, the one that came out before Xenoverse, and I really love that game. But yeah, here's Xenoverse 2. I'll try to dedicate some time to it eventually. I hope, maybe. You never know with these games. But here's Final Fantasy 15, another one that I picked up back when it came out, and I've played the tutorial. I'm not gonna lie, the little 10-15 minute tutorial, and nothing else. So yeah, I know I buy all this. Most of the stuff I buy, I just don't get around to using it. It's bad, so I try to not buy as much anymore. But this was kind of a cool little thing. This has been out for a real long time, but if you know me, you know I absolutely love the FromSoft games. Demon Souls, the original, the best one in my opinion, one of my favorite games of all time. I've got Dark Souls as well, and Bloodborne on the PS4. Really enjoy it, and I did a collector's edition for Dark Souls 3. Got that, day one when it came out. Awesome game as well. But Dark Souls 2, oddly enough, I just never picked it up. I saw a lot of videos on it. It just didn't seem to be all that great. But I never really played it, so I don't know for a fact. And just never got around to picking it up, but I saw it at Walmart the other day in just a bargain bin, and you know, $9.88 brand new to complete the FromSoft collection, at least to this point, what's out. They might not even release any more Souls games appearing, so I'm like, yeah, you know, fuck yeah, I'll get that. I was actually really excited to see that, and haven't opened it yet. But actually, this is the most, these two are the most recent, because I got this here that I just picked up today, actually. But yeah, got this just a couple of weeks ago, so pretty excited about it. Just one of those things I didn't expect to get. And finally, it's taken me 4 months or so. I don't know. I think this came out like, yeah, March. And it is the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. You just hear so many things about it. And I remember watching all the Nintendo Treehouse videos at E3 last summer and eagerly anticipating it. Was really, actually quite thankful. I think it was really cool that Nintendo, sort of their swan song on the Wii U, they did release this. I mean, I think it might have slightly downgraded visuals and stuff compared to the Switch version, but I don't really care. I'm not. I mean, it looks really good, and I'll be satisfied with that. I'm sure very minor differences, and I just, I'm not going out and shelling out cash on a Switch right now. They'll have to. They haven't really impressed me so far with what they've brought out for it, and you know, I buy it like for, I don't know. I'm just a little bit of a ramble here, but the Xbox 360, you know, I love it because of the cave shooter ports, but the PS3, I like it really because of the Souls games. But my library for those systems, more so modern day systems, it's really minuscule if that's all I have for it, you know. Less than maybe 20 games combined, maybe like 25. And same with the PS4, you know, if Jiraiyas Burst, if they hadn't have brought that on the PS4, I probably never would have purchased it. I'm glad I did, just for that. Awesome arcade, perfect port, and the CS mode, as well as Bloodborne, you know, and some stuff like this is cool as well. But really, like, if I count the PS3, Xbox 360, and PS4, I've got maybe like 40 games, if that, total. Now, as to compare it, like my Sega Saturn collection, I think in 40, that's like being generous. Probably I've got like 30, 35 games at max for those three systems combined. Just my Saturn collection alone, I think I have like, I'm near 100 games. PlayStation as well, like Famicom, like 100, maybe 120 to 150. All my Neo Geo games, well over 100 for all those platforms combined. And, you know, so it's just, I don't know, where am I going with this ramble? I'm not sure I'm going to buy any more systems that are coming out now unless they just really floor me with something. I say that now, and I'll probably get the Switch because I'm a sucker for anything Mario, you know. So when that game comes out, I'm sure I'll get all excited and go run out and shell out the cash for it. But yeah, so there it is, first video in the new games room. I know you can't see anything. In due time you will. So, you know, some of this stuff is nearly 3 years old. Some of it is like a week old. Some of it just today. So that's kind of running the gamut of time in recent years. But yeah, there is everything. And like I said, I try to make these short, but I'm really bad at it because when I turn on the camera, I just start rambling. So anyway, again, also I apologize. I've just been so busy with work and a lot of other things, and setting up stuff in the games room and just the new house in general. So I know I've been really I've posted maybe like 4 videos this entire year, maybe 3, and that's unacceptable. So I apologize about that. Just been really busy, and I'll try to get back into the swing of my usual kind of flow of at least somewhat more regular content out there. So I'm still here. I haven't disappeared. Don't go away, anyone. I'll be back real soon. So, yeah, talk to all of y'all soon. Bye for now. Take care.